word iconic is often overused within cycling, but its application to the snake-like climb of Alpe D'Huez, which encounters the infamous 21 switchbacks, is completely, entirely justified. The 13.2 kilometer climb was first won by Fausto Coppi in the 1952 Tour de France, and since then it has been used a total of 30 times in the race. This cycling mecca that is hidden away in the deep dark depths of the French Alps commences in the town of Bourg d'Oisans and climbs 1,120 vertical meters up to the ski resort of Alpe D'Huez. This particular road is an absolute war zone come the summer, and in the past it's been one of the defining climbs that has shaped the general classification in the Tour de France. According to Strava, it boasts an average gradient of 8.1% and maxes out at around 12 to 13 in places. It has been attempted by more than 93,000 people, which makes it one of the most popular climbs to ride your bicycle in the entire world. The fastest ever recorded time up Alpe D'Huez was in the 1997 Tour de France, and that was achieved by the late Marco Pantani. He did it in a time of 37 minutes and 35 seconds. Wow, this climb was literally his playground. I recently came up with the idea of climbing Mont Ventoux on a Santander commissioned Boris Bike. However, a quick Google search prevailed that this has been attempted once before. A bloke from London named Matthew managed to hire a bike, drive down to the south of France, climb Mont Ventoux, descend, drive back to London and return the bike in under 24 hours, which is the maximum time you can hire a bike for. The consequence of returning a bike late, between 150 and 300 pounds, depending on the time. So anyway, Mont Ventoux, this has been completed, this has been done, this is now out of the equation, and it was time to look for the next iconic climb, thus Alpe D'Huez. As far as I know, no one has managed to successfully hire a Boris Bike, drive to Alpe D'Huez, climb it, descend it, return it back to London in under 24 hours. And I want to change that. This borderline ludicrous idea took days of planning. When was the best time to cross the tunnel? When is the quietest time to drive a van through London? Is there any road closures? What is the situation with snow at the top of Alpe D'Huez? Because after all, it's winter and it's a ski resort. You can kind of see the problem that that might entail, right? But aside from that, after many hours of Googling the interwebs, we'd set out a plan, we had a schedule, and along with a couple of trusty mates, we were ready to go. So first things first, we needed a van. I just couldn't imagine two Boris bikes going inside my little BMW. Thankfully, my dad was at hand. And then it was time to stock up on supplies. We simply didn't have time to stop at different service stations to pick up food. So to minimize time stopped, I wanted to take all the food and all of the drink with us in the first instance.
All right, that should do it.
Do you reckon you can wheel it? Nah. Brakes aren't going to be that great descending out the ways. They aren't very good at all. Okay, we're at Naval Row, somewhere in London. I actually worked out the closest place to the Channel Tunnel from London, or like the quickest place, and it was either Stratford or Naval Row, which is next to the Blackwall Tunnel. It's 12:47. We want to hire the bikes at around 1:30. Sorry, Brian. I can't concentrate because we've got bloody explosions in the background. You mind? Basically, what the situation is, we've got 24 hours from the point of removing the bike from the dock. Brian's just like checking out which bike he wants. You can hire them for 30 minutes and it's completely free. Then you can put the bike back, and then we'll take them and the time will start from now. But you found one that you like, Bri? Yeah. We need to check. We need to check the tires. We need some good tires because we're coming down. Are the tires good?
Like well grippy.
There we go, the tyres are grippy. Right, let's find a bike for me. I'm just checking the 3 gears work. Shimano's latest flipping fireworks. I think this is the one.
This is the one.
It needs to be a French name because I feel like this is going to be the first time this bike's ever been to France. Pierre.
Pierre.
I'm going to call it Pierre.
Pierre the Boris Bike.
Okay, so the time is approaching 1:30. It's actually currently 1:27 in the morning. We've got a very tight schedule. We're going to hire the bikes at 1:30, then we're going to head straight for the tunnel. It's absolutely freezing right now in London this morning. It's like 4 degrees right now, but the adventure.
Oh, that's gotta be.
Brian's trying to find a bike with a good bell. Just 3 young lads in the middle of London testing
Ringing
out
bells.
ringing bells.
1:30 exactly.
1:29. I'm doing everything on the absolute minute, mate. Are we ready? We'll start the clock. The challenge starts the moment I pull this out. 24 hours.
Start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go.
Right, are they gonna fit? Are they gonna fit?
TFL, if you're watching this, we are not stealing your bikes. Did the lights stop flashing? Because that could be quite annoying. Let's go. The first task, the first point on our mission is to get to the tunnel. We've got 1 hour 15 minutes, which means we should get there at 2:48 right now. The crossing is at 3:20, so I think so far we should be on for we should be good.
Can we get some perfect fried chicken?
That's food poisoning if I've ever seen it before. This is a less than ideal sleeping situation, but in better news, we made it onto the crossing, we're on the Channel Tunnel, we're on our way to France, we're on schedule, we're on time, and so far, everything's looking good. The time right now is about 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. I've been awake now for over 24 hours, like 25 hours. Don't actually feel too bad yet, but I feel like I'm gonna bonk anytime now. We're about 5 hours and 550 kilometers away from Alpe D'Huez. We're currently about 15 minutes behind schedule, but right now, I'm not worried yet. Now, I think I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't quietly confident at this stage of the trip that we were going to actually complete it. The roads were absolutely dead, despite the French peages costing an absolute fortune. The roads were dead, we were making good progress after a little bit of a delay in the Eurotunnel, and morale was generally pretty high. First sign of the Alps have arrived in the clouds. There's no snow on the top of these, which is how oh, there is snow actually. There is snow. Oh, for God's sake. All right, there's snow. And the worst thing is we're not even at the elevation at Alpe D'Huez is at yet. We're still an hour away. So we're probably gonna be riding through snow today. Oh crap. Oh crap indeed. As it happens, the snow has just arrived and it is arriving fast. I checked the webcam 3 days prior and there was absolutely no snow at the top of the mountain. However, the following 2 days, an unearthly amount of the white stuff had fallen from the all godly heavens in preparation for the winter ski season. This was news we did not want to hear. You can see my breath. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've made it. After countless hours of driving, I've lost count how many hours we've been driving. We've made it to Alpe D'Huez, and my schedule was to get here at 12, and the time right now is 11 minutes past 12. So I think we're doing bang on target. We've driven about halfway up the climb, so we're gonna get kitted up, get the bikes out, ride down to the bottom, and then up to the top from here. The bike's made it. Mate, I still can't believe we've got 2 Boris bikes in the middle of the French Alps. Like, how do you explain this to the guide? It's going to be interesting with 3 gears. I mean, this climb's pretty steep. Like, at the bottom it's like 12-13%. Alright, let's get changed. Let's go and do some bike riding. I reckon we're going to be grinding like 50 RPM and gear 1. It's not going to be pretty. No. See you in a little bit, amigo. Come on, Brian. I hope my brakes work. Yeah, I don't know about this seat, man. Look at this seat. That's not what I'm used to. Okay, I want to take this opportunity to very quickly say, once we'd boarded the Eurotunnel, Brian realised he had forgotten his helmet at home. Obviously, we couldn't go back to get it, and we were presented with a situation where we'd hired 2 bikes, and Brian really didn't want to drive all this way to not ride the bike that he'd hired. So after a little bit of deliberation, we decided that he would ride anyway, and just be extra cautious on the descent. But guys, I completely do not endorse riding a bicycle without a helmet, especially in somewhere like the Alps. Okay, so we just made it to the bottom of the climb. We're at kilometer 0 right now. We're about to turn around, we're about to head back up it. Smell the brakes. Oh no. We might need some new brake pads by the end of this. But anyway, I've scheduled into my master plan 1 hour to do this climb, which 13 kilometers on an average road bike, I think that's more than doable. All right, here we go, kilometer 0. Grand depart. Oui, oui. Anyway, but on a 23 kilogram bike, I think an hour might be quite tough, so let's see. Oh, my bike's not even changing gear. Oh, there we go. So making a quick little stop, Brian, just adjusting his saddle height to get the optimal aero comfort position, but without the way, every corner counts down. So we start with 21 switchbacks. We went through the first one and we've just gone through the second one. That's cruel, man, that is cruel. We've got 20 more switchbacks to go, and each switchback is named after a previous winner on this climb in the Tour de France. On a positive note, there's no snow yet. Than I first thought it was going to be.
Really?
If I'm going to be honest. She's a steep one.
She's a steep one.
It's like a constant low cadence effort the whole way up. You can't really get into a good cadence. So I hope it's going to flatten out a little bit as we get a bit higher. Because it's starting to hit the legs, it's starting to hit the back, it's starting to hit the head. 23 kilograms of bike on a mountain
kilograms.
Isn't very nice. But we're doing it, that's the main thing. We've got about 10 more hairpins to go. And we're nearly at the snow line, so it's about to get sketchy. 1,500 meters now. We're just getting above the clouds. As you can see, we're kind of in line with the clouds. That's pretty sick. We're just going through the town of D'Huez. It's starting to get a bit colder now. How you feeling? Yeah. Alpe D'Huez, welcome. We must be getting close. I mean, I know we're getting close. I can just about see the hotels on the top of the mountain up there. So close. Get so far, about 1,600, 1,700 meters. We've just crossed the snow line. Getting pretty cold right now. I reckon it's down to about 4 degrees. Hey! What a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. The final hairpin, number 1. Go on, Brian, nearly there. My guy is suffering. I mean, I'm suffering as well. Don't get me wrong. Look at this, I've got a snowball. I'm on a Boris bike at the top of the Alpe D'Huez, and I've got a snowball. All the writing for when the tour comes up here in the summer. How sick is that? Anyway guys, it's snowing right now. We're just arriving in Alpe D'Huez village and it's just started snowing. Just like that. There we are, Arrive, kilometer 14. This is where the tour stage finishes, which is actually a couple of K after the town of Alpe D'Huez, which we didn't know. Take it all in, Brian, very quickly, so we got to turn around and get out of here.
So we make a snow angel.
I feel like it's only right. We've took 2 Boris bikes to the top of Europe. Oh, I know we're not the top of Europe, but top of the Alpe D'Huez, the most iconic climb in the Tour de France. And Brian's doing a snow angel. Thanks for coming. Oh mate, my hands, they're so cold. I just absolutely bombed it down there. We're well behind schedule.
Yeah, we are. We're like, I've just said like 25 minutes behind schedule.
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Crap. It's
Oh, you can smell the brakes, mate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Brian's taking it easy because he's not got a helmet, so he doesn't want to come off in any of the corners. But it took so much longer than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Because like you get to the village at the top where the top of the climb actually is, but then we went to the top of the tour finish, which is another 3k after the town.
Oh,
Here he is.
yes, he's made it. He survived.
Feel my fingers.
Oh.
Well, you jump in front, Ed.
Alright.
I'll get in the back. Okay, so to give you guys a little bit of an update, we're on our way back to Calais now, to the Eurotunnel. It's currently, as you can see, 8 hours and 2 minutes away, which means we're going to get there at 11:45. Our crossing is 11:50, so at the minute I think we'll miss it, but hopefully the roads are going to be clear. We're going to get on the toll road, we're going to bomb it home, and hopefully we can make a little bit of time if the roads are clear. And Monica just texted me something which is a very good point. Now, I don't want to endorse speeding. You shouldn't speed your cars. You should stick to your speed limits at all times. But she did say, remember, a speeding ticket in France is less than a Boris fine. That's a good point, isn't it? France fuel stop number 2, filling up the car. Trying to be as quick as possible because right now we're still chasing time and it's still touch and go as to whether we're going to make the tunnel or not. Ladies and gentlemen, the last péage of the trip right now. Let's see what the damage is. 23 euros 20, that's not too bad. We had one about an hour ago and it was 45 euros, so go! About 8 hours since we departed Alpe D'Huez, we've just made it back to where are we? Calais. We're in Calais, aren't we? We're at the Eurotunnel in Calais. Now, we made up some progress, so I think we're going to be fine. We're going to make our train perfectly fine. But the issue was, right, if we'd have missed this train, so in the day, like every 30 minutes, which is fine, we could have just got the next train. But at this time of night, the next train isn't until like 1:30 in the morning, and we'd have definitely failed the challenge if that had happened. So luckily, Mr. Jeffers, welcome. Look at that, 11:50. Thanks for coming. Wait, this challenge.
How have we made that?
Well, for a start, how we made
20
that.
minutes late.
This challenge, mate. This challenge ain't even a challenge. I'm quite confident.
How smug he is.
I'm quite confident that we're going to complete this.
Break down.
Yeah, we might run out of fuel actually, which we are about to run out of fuel.
we are currently on zero fuel.
But we're on our way back to England. We're going to return to Boris Bikes in under 24 hours, and we're not going to get fined £300. And also, I've been awake for 38 hours now. 38 hours.
So have I.
Mate, I'm flying on caffeine, aren't I? Right, put the camera away, we're at the passport. Okay, so as it turns out, the lack of sleep is starting to show some worrying signs. Did you know we're about to go back in time? It's currently 11:50 and we're going to arrive at 11:20.
Can we stop playing them games, Cam? My brain's already fried.
Mind.
For God's sake.
The final leg of the journey right now from the Eurotunnel, 100 kilometres north back to London, where we're going to return the bikes, and it is absolutely it down. Almost 24 hours later, we're back at Naval Road, Blackwall in London. Back at the Boris Bike dock and stand. Almost 24 hours later, the time right now is 1:01. That means we're under the 24-hour target by 30 minutes. The challenge isn't complete until the bike is officially docked into the stand. Are we ready? Are you ready, Ed, for this monumental moment? This bike...
I'm going to cry. At the same time, please, boys.
This bike has been to the top of Alpe D'Huez today, and now it's back in London. Dun, dun, dun. Oh. There we go. Yeah! So, to answer the question, can you take a Boris bike to the south of France and climb the Alpe D'Huez and back again in under 24 hours? The answer, my friends, is yes.
But because you won't fit, I throw a fit.